Okay, we're in World 0 with the new Mastery class, Leviathan. This showcase is very basic. It's going to show you guys just the skills and not really the min-max numbers, nothing crazy. I'm sure other content creators that will go over that in more detail, but we're going to show you guys if kind of like how it works and how to unlock it kind of thing. Now, before that, just remember that this is release date Leviathan and things can change over time and months. So it's something that seems pretty weak or maybe too strong, might be buffed, might be nerfed. So who knows how long this video will be valid for, but hey, I think this class is pretty good. So let's go ahead and start off with how to earn it. So how to earn this class, you're gonna head over to the class UI here, and you have to go ahead and play on Dragoon. And with Dragoon, you have to go ahead and get 10,000 kills on level 100 plus mobs while in Dragoon's Dragon mode. And what that means is that when you're playing Dragoon, when you use your combo, which is ERF, you will turn into Dragon mode. So you press E and R will be flashing, so that would chain it, and then you would chain your F ability, and now for about 7 seconds you will now be in Dragon mode, and getting kills in Dragon mode will now give you progress for the quest to unlock Leviathan. So you have to just make sure that you're in that mode and all that stuff. Now I would assume to get this easily or get this the grind will be probably grinding Infinite Tower. Of course, I got this for free because of the World 0 devs. So thank you for giving me the code to look at this and redeem it and use it early. So I appreciate that all the time. So I don't know how long it'll take, but probably a while. But that type of quest. Okay, so now let's go ahead and talk about the Leviathan class. All right, so first, we're going to be talking about the auto attack, the primary attack. So it's obviously a simple thing, but the main difference is that when you crit, it will spawn a bubble, and it's a crit for every ability, not just the auto attack. It's just the passive for the whole kit. So when you crit, you see now a bubble is now placed on this dummy here as target, and after a couple seconds it will just pop and deal damage, and it'll be AOE as well. So if it's like a near against other enemies or mobs nearby and you just let it pop, it will just do damage to everything near it. So, and it will stack. So every single crit, every blue text we get here, it is adding a bubble. So if now we just wait here, and you'll see a bunch of bubbles here to start popping. So over time, the more crit builds for this class will be pretty mandatory for that. Now, before we start with the other abilities with E, R, and F, they do have a similar thing with chaining the thing, but it's not really giving you a bonus. It's just good to chain them. You'll understand why, and we'll chain it at the end after we show all the abilities, but the combo of it. So start off with the very next ability, which is going to be the Water Cyclone. So Water Cyclone is an auto target range attack. So if you just like stand like in this direction, it will now auto near the nearest enemy, and it will send out this giant cyclone, and then it will leave a trail of bubbles on the floor. Those bubbles can detonate over time, and maybe you could lead enemies into it, but there's another reason why with the R ability. But you can see here, it is a pretty decent range, and like I said, it will auto target enemies basically. If it crits, it should let a bubble, but it doesn't. Oh, this one leads a bubble. I think anything that your staff hits, which is your R ability, does it too. So there's that. So here's, let's show you guys the kind of the range for it real quick. Let's do this way, I guess. It goes pretty far. Anyways, that is the R or E ability, which is a nice range attack, which is good for a melee class. Anyways, and then we have the R ability, which is Hydrosurge. So Hydrosurge. This one is just a little dash. It seems like it does nothing, which I guess it's true, but it does go in hand with the passive or bubble spawning. So when you use your dash and a bubble will spawn, so for example, if I put a bubble here and I press R ability on the bubble, it'll pop it and spawn in these dragons here and do damage. These dragons can also apply bubbles as well, so what it seems. So there's that. So you mainly want to use this only when you're seeing a bubble. Okay, I missed, but you have to really do have to aim this thing in order to do it. And then you can like do a bunch of bubbles at once, you know, all stack, and more bubbles will spawn, and you can do this. And it's a pretty low cooldown, 3-second cooldown. It's a good ability just to pop those bubbles, and it does a lot of damage. Okay, so there's that. Now we have the next ability, which is going to be the F ability, Maelstrom Spin. So a nice AOE damage here. And when you use this ability, it will go ahead and put a nice damage resistance of 30% on your character, low bubble, and do damage over time. It lasts for a pretty long time, considerably. It's a 8-second cooldown, and it lasts for up until almost a whole ability timer, which is crazy. And if it crits, it applies a bubble as well. Now, the bubble that you get on yourself will also do damage once it expires. You can see here, once it goes boop, you see that it does damage as well. It's a pretty big chunk of damage. I guess depends on your weapon. But so there you go. That is the ability there. The basics of it, at least. Crits and bubbles, and it will make bubbles do more damage. How much more damage? Honestly, as we see here, I think it did 14k damage if we had it active, and it does 10k on its also above. About a little bit 1.2, 1.4, 1.3, whatever. Anyway, so now we have the ultimate. Ultimate isn't like anything to like be crazy about. I don't know. Is it the second cooldown? Well, obviously you gotta charge it up for getting kills, but if you get like a power up from a raid boss, then it's gonna be, you know, on cooldown for that. Right. So here's what it looks like basically. So you're gonna press your ability, and then the things big AOE to be drenched the entire way, and being drenched, they take damage over time. I'm pretty sure, I can't really tell you, to be honest with you, if these targets, they get one shot anyways. But literally all it is, you just go in a straight line and you can't move, but it just applies this giant buff, debuff, which is called Drench. It will stun enemies, and that's it. Drench is like the first time it's ever been said in this game, so I don't know. I'm assuming it just does, like, adds like a poison to them. We'll do a dungeon and we'll probably get a better look at that. Let's get a little bit of a free cam here real quick. Okay, well, it looks different because now we're facing that way. But you can't, it goes pretty far from there to there, and big AoE damage. I'm not entirely sure how good it is, but I think the rest of the kit is good itself, good on its own. So let's talk about the combo. So when you actually use your E ability, it will flash the R ability, just like the Dragoon one. And so the whole premise is that you're supposed to just use the E ability, then the R ability as a combo. I don't think F matters that much as a combo, but you can see how this is what happens. So like if you use E, then R, and then F, it's just like, it's not really giving you like a dragon mode or anything. It's just straight up just telling you do this combo. And you can see how crazy it gets, especially that your F ability, it buffs up your bubble damage, and then you can keep applying more bubbles with the cooldown being so low. This is pretty much the combo of how you're gonna be playing this in rotation, and you're getting damage resistance. It's always up, and you're doing a bunch of bubble damage and all that stuff. Just remember that the more bubbles that are stacked, you can just keep popping them and all that good stuff. So this is pretty much how the gameplay is, and there you go. It's a lot of damage, especially if you have a zero weapon, and it just look, it keeps going. Look at this. I don't know if I intend to do that, but it just keeps going, bro. So this is like pretty much what you're looking at for the damage. Looks pretty good. And yeah, we'll do it in practice. All right, let's do a nightmare dungeon. I don't really have a zero weapon yet, because I didn't really know what to really build into. But it's like crit seems to be a good idea on it, and maybe some other stuff. All right, so let's go ahead and do a nightmare dungeon here. Let's do mountain pass. No, not really. Treasure hunts. Oh, underworld. Underworld has 2 bosses, right? Let's do underworld, and then we'll do a challenge mode one as well. If we die, we die. I don't know what else to say. We're using my pet. Well, I'll equip a pet, I guess. I'm gonna use it with some stats, I guess. We'll just get our ult more often, I guess, so we can showcase it more. That's probably our best bet here, I guess. So I'll step out of this anyways. Alright, so let's go and do this dungeon real quick and see how it really fares. I missed my bubbles, so it's okay. still popping. It's crazy. I don't know if it's lag or anything, but that's not. The hit rate is not working here, it seems. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm going crazy. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Bubbles are not getting hits by the thing. They're pretty tanky though. 30% on, 30% less is pretty good. The issue is bubbles is that they don't stick that well in terms of like slanted in terrain. That's the only downfall to it. Hopefully it gets fixed in the future if it's possible, but it's not too good in terms of that sense. I use alt here, see what happens. Do be a bit careful though. If they drench, they're taking damage over time. Okay, I see that. That makes sense. Also, I don't know, decent damage. I like this class. It seems pretty fun, but yeah, it seems like its hitbox looks bigger than it's supposed to be. I'm not sure. If it's just lag or something. No, it shouldn't be lagging, but it seems like it just doesn't be hitting as hard I think it would be. What I haven't done yet is like dodging and seeing what animation cancels that could happen, but I could just leave and the bubbles would just pop and kill it. Okay, well, I didn't die at least, but yeah, I don't know. Did you use a move before? Never know. So our first boss fight here with the Serpent. Mind you that there's nothing I can do here. I'm just like, you're stuck in this animation. It's kind of crazy. I don't know if I like it that much. I think it's not hit rate. Hit rate is not hitting for some reason. I'm not sure. It feels like it's not doing it right with the dragons. Maybe it's doing it like, yeah, I don't know if it's maybe just delayed or something, but it feels like it's not hitting. It's like too much, but hope we can get used to these bubbles popping noise sound effects, bro. Yes. Top tier. Die from the eyes. Oh, life still. Oh, life drone would be good. Probably not. There's a different perk for that, right? That's better than that. I'm trying to aim the art. Oh my god. A bit overkill at the end. Everything's already dead, you know what I mean? So how long this dungeon is. I died there, I got stuck. Oh, I'm gonna die now. Should really be using that FFA more for the 30% damage reduction. If I die, I wouldn't be surprised if I die, because I literally don't feel like I should be living half of these. I didn't even heal me. I might die of Hades. I don't know. Dodging is, I'm like whiffing it really badly. Or not dodging, but I'm whiffing really hard, I feel like, half the time. Not sure why. The targeting is a bit not the best, it seems. I mean, I'm using it wrong. Went too far? I don't know. This thing hurts. I don't know why I did that. My alt's already up. I don't know, but the alt is a bit wonky. I feel like it was a bit different. Maybe I'll like it more. It's a bit wonky in my opinion. I can go up to 30%, probably. I might die here. I don't know. Jeez. I don't know what living this, to be honest with you. If I just stay back, maybe just dodge a little bit, but I'm surprised. I mean, it's not that bad. Without zero open, it's not that bad. For now, at least. Alt is here. I mean, it chunks them, but the poison doesn't do much, it seems. At least to these bosses. I mean, you know, even then, like, it's not like they nerf, like, every single, like, type of, like, poison on bosses. Anyway, well, not everyone, maybe not these bosses, but it seems like you can kind of, like, feel it, though. And you can tell I don't play my classes that often, so I don't know how to use them really. Oh well. But having the like AOE damage and everything is pretty nice, because you can just back off. I should have staying in as a melee class. It's kind of an issue, right? This grass is gonna kill me, bro. I can't see. Oh my god, hello? I didn't see that. Anyways, well, we dead. I can't see the grass, bro. I blend the grass. That's 8 minutes of my life, because I don't even know, bro. Anyways, well, good showcase. For sure. Anyways, that is that. That is the class. I think it's pretty good. I enjoy it. I might use it. I get a zero open, and I might use it possibly. And yeah, so I will probably do that, I think, and all that good stuff. We'll see. Pretty good.